Hello. Thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Kathy Imani, and I am really glad to be here. And we talk about things that affect our purpose, how we can move forward, how we can make progress. And so, just along those lines, let's talk about something else that we shall come across in our journey of pursuing our purpose. Okay? So I want to talk about something that's very, very close to my heart. And this is what I've been pondering the past couple. If you've made any progress recently, if you've joined a new class, or if you've had a new baby, or you just got married, then you know that when you're beginning something, it's most times a difficult time. You have to go learning the ropes, making some adjustments and things like that. But one of the things that we seldom think about is keeping our consistency. Keeping our consistency. We've become such connoisseurs of things. And a connoisseur is a person who is an expert in taste. So they know a lot about arts or food or drink or any other subject. Okay, they are experts in a certain subject of things. They know a lot about it. They have a lot of information. It's like a niche for them. You talk to someone and they tell you about the different wines and where they come from and how they are made and their uniqueness. And if you want this wine with this food, it won't work. Try this one instead. Why this one works better than this? That is a connoisseur. Okay, so they taste things, and then they are able to come up with certain conclusions. Now, connoisseurs don't eat to get satisfied. They taste. If it's in the case of wine, for instance, they swirl it around the mouth, then they pick up the richness of this, or it's lacking in that, or it would be more robust if it had this. So they just swirl it around the mouth, pick up the taste. They're expert tasties, let me call them that, expert tasties. And then they spit it out before they go on to the next one, because, if they keep swallowing, then by the time they're at the next one, they'll be high, and that won't help. But tasting does not satisfy. Can you imagine if you go for dinner and maybe someone has invited you for dinner and it's somebody you like, and so you're looking forward to spending this time with them, but then you go in, you order, then they bite, they pause, they chew a little bit, they pause, they think, then they spit it out. Or they take a bite, they chew, and they look like they're thinking through it, so they're chewing slowly, deliberately. You can't even have conversation because, how are you having conversation? And then they put aside the entire plate, and then they signal for the next dish to come. Maybe that was if you're doing a 5-star, that was a starter or something. Then they signal for the main meal to come. Then they signal for a dessert to come, and they behave like that with every course. They don't really get anything in. So a lot of things have gone into the tasting, but nothing really has gone into the stomach. Nothing has satisfied. Then they push over, ask for the next thing or go to the next thing, even before they have really taken time to enjoy what is there. And sometimes that can be it when we try out new things. People, and you've had this one before, I suppose, that someone is trying out a diet. I'm not even sure that diets work, but humor me as we use that for an example. So you try a diet so that you can lose weight or something, and you eat salads for 3 days and nothing is happening, and so you give up on it and say, that diet doesn't work. Or you pick up an exercise, you decide to exercise, and you exercise once a month, but you're expecting to see results. Or you exercise for 7 days and you're hoping to see the results that take 7 months. It doesn't work like that. And the Bible tells us in Ephesians 6 that we should stand our ground. To stand then means that as much as we have started something new and we are making progress, taking those steps, we have to be consistent. Consistency is key. I have been studying habits of some successful people, including Jim Rohn, that I really read about. I've really been reading up about him, Les Brown, and I realize one of the things that they do is they practice consistently. When you take up something new, try to concentrate on it before you take up something else. So come up with a plan. I have 5 things I need to do today. Pick the one that you feel is most priority. Prioritize well. Pick your high priority, start on it. But concentrate on it. Give it the attention it deserves. Give it your full attention, so that when you're done with it, you will be able to see the result of what you have been expending your energy into. When we don't give things our full attention, we run the risk of just tasting but not really getting the full gist of the matter. So we are not getting satisfied. We are not getting the grade that we deserve because we did not take time to really read. Yeah, we just skimmed through things and decided we are going to wing it. While there are times that we shall be required to wing it. This is life. Nothing is, life is not clean and straight. Sometimes things get messy. But even in embracing the messiness of life, as we are doing life, it's important to see what we are consistent in. If you're consistent in prayer, you begin to notice a pattern of how things work for you. And so you can say prayer works. If you're consistent in exercise, your body begins to respond. And on the day that you skip that exercise, you begin to realize your body is sending signals saying something is amiss. There's something that's not proper, because now you are making it a habit. You're making it a part of you. If you consistently eat right, then you begin to notice certain things, like you don't have certain pains, or you're not having certain challenges with your health anymore because you are consistently eating right. So even the occasional this or that or the other that is junk or whatever will not really have an adverse negative impact on your life. Yeah. But when we behave like connoisseurs with things, you taste and move on, taste and move on, taste and move on, then it becomes a waste. You have a lot of things that you have tried, but they are actually hardly touched. They are hardly touched. So in the journey of pursuing purpose, it is imperative that we learn to remain consistent, even when initially we don't see results. Everything operates under a law. So the law of, say, sowing and reaping dictates that when you put seed in the ground, it will not germinate tomorrow. It takes a bit of a while to get used to the environment in there, and then it can break out and be what it's supposed to be. By the time germination is taking place, by the time you see any form of growth, it takes a bit of a while. You don't conceive today and give birth tomorrow. The baby still has to take 9 months. They can be born prematurely, sure, but if they are viable, they will grow and they can thrive. But if they are not viable, then they die. So there is a consistency. Don't ask to be brought out of the furnace when it starts to feel too hot, because sometimes that's what we end up doing. You find yourself in a training situation where things don't seem to really be working, or things are difficult. It is a place where our capacity to handle things is being expanded, and expansion usually comes with a bit of pain. You're being stretched so that you can accommodate more, so that you can be able to handle more, so that you can take in more pressure. There is a bit of uncomfortability. It's a little bit uncomfortable in that place of growth, but the result is always worth it. So if we come out of the oven before we are fully baked, we are unable to go and handle the things that we are supposed to be working on, the things that we are supposed to be handling in that new season, in that new place. Let me pause and let that sink a little bit. When we come out of the furnace too early, then we are half-baked, and so we are not ready, we are not well equipped to handle that which is coming from, that which is coming our way. We are not equipped to handle that relationship, and, it will break, or we break people, We are not ready to handle that new place in leadership, and so we end up bulldozing, or we end up breaking our teams. We are not able to handle parenting, and so we bleed on our children because we did not stop and deal with the trauma and identify who we really are, discover ourselves. So take time. That is the meaning of to stand. In the Bible, when in Ephesians 6, Paul was giving this example, he was using a military kind of example, that you put on the armor, and the shoes that would cause someone to stand, they had spokes underneath because they were going into battle. So these shoes ensured that when a warrior was confronting an enemy and he did not want to stumble, then he had to ensure that his shoes are firmly planted in the ground, so that then he can be able to stand his ground and not be pushed back by the enemy and then be overcome. So in the same way, let us take time in whatever it is we are doing in this new season, whatever it is you're doing in the pursuit of your purpose. Take some time, stand in there, do the necessary research, be patient with yourself, be patient when things don't look like they are working, but you continue to put in the effort. Be patient and consistent as you put in the effort, and I can assure you it is surely going to pay. I would know. Okay, that's all that I have for today. I hope you've learned something new. I hope you've been encouraged and that you're lifted up. I hope you've seen somewhere that you can grow, because that's the whole purpose of this, that we can learn together, grow together. And I appreciate your feedback. So please drop a comment, talk to me. Let me know what has spoken to you. Let me know what is of help to you, even as we continue to grow and encourage one another in this journey of life. I'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you for joining me. Yours faithfully, Imani.